Welcome to Podtendo's Top 10 list. Listen to the show, we'll explain it. I can't explain it during the opening. Enjoy! Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Podtendo podcast's Top 10 list. So in honor of our 10th year, that's right, this year we started our 10th season. So me, Mick, and my co-host,
Tyson,
are going through, and we created a random assortment of top 10 lists that we're going through. Lots of them focused on early video games. We were coming at you guys telling us about the Nintendos and Super Nintendos and the 64s Nintendos that came out. A little bit more of an authority. We went back and played a lot of those games. We've had a couple ones like comic book characters. I'll be honest with you, I don't really feel 100% confident on that one. And we're coming back at kind of a random show today with top 10 Simpsons characters. So if you ever listened to our podcast before, we reference the Simpsons a lot. It's actually a staple in our Wayback Machine, right? So for probably about 100 shows, we've went through and we talked and told you guys about our favorite Simpsons episodes, sometimes repetitively because sometimes our shows kind of like overlap, at least in timelines when they were released. And today we're going to get in specifically and tell you all about the Simpsons. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of our childhood. I think that we both...
life. Doesn't have to just be childhood.
True. It's not like it's ever stopped.
Did I watch 2 Simpsons episodes last night while I was doing something on my computer quick? Yep, because I was like, I just need some background noise and some fun colors. And I was like, oh, Simpsons. Okay, perfect.
It's true. I periodically just put it on just because you're like, you know what? I really enjoy watching The Simpsons, so I'm going to just keep watching The Simpsons.
It is big. There is a couple years ago, I don't know, it's probably, 10 years or something like that. I know we were both into a Talking Simpsons podcast, right? Some guys from Retronauts or something. Bob, Mackey, and another guy.
Henry or something.
Henry... I don't know his last name. Anyways, Talking Simpsons, they did a show where they kind of broke down every episode of The Simpsons. I was glued for a while. Would go back and kind of like follow them. I fell off at some point, but it kind of is what it is. But they told us about a phenomenon called Talking Simpsons, where you can have conversations of just quoting Simpsons to your friends, your family, your coworkers. Me and Tyson are smack dab in that generation where Simpsons ad nauseum. It's part of our vocabulary. And as a result, we're done. This is going to be the shortest podcast me and Tyson ever record because we're going to sign off right now, maybe say a couple more things, and then I'm just going to cut the rest of the show together just based on old clips that we've said. So old Simpsons quotes, it'll be great. Super easy podcast.
Very easy. Nothing but editing. That's all that is. It's just magic.
I think we've documented 75 to like 80% of seasons 3 to 9, right? The kind of the golden years of The Simpsons. So we're just going to play back those clips. Piece of cake, right? Maybe once in a while get us saying 1, 2, 3, really naturally sounding, right? Like you would say as you were kind of saying a list, and that'd be perfect. So good times.
Sounds like good podcasting and just random clips.
Ooh, baby. All right. So like all the rest of our top 10 lists, if you guys have been kind of following along, this will probably be, I don't know, lighter, faster. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to go 10 to 1 because 1 to 10 would be absolute lunacy. Couldn't stand that. Tyson only has 3 honorable mentions this week, so that's pretty impressive. I
had to cut it off at some point.
I had trouble filling out my list, which I find is interesting that you had extras.
Like, really? Okay. Really? I'm like, I could do a top 20. I could easily do a top 20. There's a bunch of characters that I'm like, I want to find a spot for them. I just can't. I could justify this person being there, but I just can't. Like it just, and it's funny. There's a couple of characters on your list that I don't have, which is interesting, and a couple of characters on my list that you don't have. So
a lot of overlap, but we're probably talking about roughly 16, 17 characters ish,
something like that. Not cool. Including my 3 honorable mentions that I'll just touch on.
With including your honorable mentions, I think I only have a couple extras, right? So most of our list is pretty concise, which is fine, right? Good way to do this. Similar to, I feel like N64 was like that. Like, I mean, there's only like 12 good N64 games, so we have to pick all 12 of them. Weird.
It is a pretty like sad state of affairs over there. And we were just talking about that before we started recording. That like, man, that generation sure is weak. Like even like you look at the PlayStation lineup, you're like, there was thousands of games, what feels like for this system, and like 30 good ones.
30 maybe elite games, some of the best games literally ever made. Their first attempt at 3D, and I'm like, man, they knocked it out of the park with this narrative, this story, this design.
Yeah,
and
Symphony of the Night still holds up.
Oh, yeah, like Ocarina of Time is the next generation. Majora's Mask is phenomenal, right? Holds up still today, kind of thing.
Mario 64, the Diddy Kong Racing, best kart game ever made.
Everything else. You don't want to play Star Wars Battle of Kashyyyk? Yeah,
how about Quest 64? That do anything for you?
Yeah, how about filter?
Ridge Racer? It's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. So today, a little more concise. We're back to it. Simpsons characters, much like in 64 games, there's only 15 good ones. So that's a lie. There's tons of them. I was going to at one point try and pair up an episode that we wanted to talk about with these characters, but obviously we just got a list of names, so we'll see how that works. And starting out, we have to start at number 10. I'm going to start with, well, that's interesting. We have 2 Simpsons girls that don't appear on the other person's list. So let's start out with, I think maybe arguably one of the least liked characters in The Simpsons. She's always there with her pokey little hair and her little pearls and a red dress. Number 10 on my list is, starting things off, Lisa Simpson.
Yep. I not a fan of that character, so she did not make my honorable mentions even.
She does, yeah. I mean, essentially as the moral center, the moral compass, the kind of the voice of reason in the series. She's a little bit rough around the edges, right? She's kind of like the no fun police. She does get some runway in later episodes, and some Lisa focused episodes are I think some of the strongest in the seasons, right? Like really, if I was to go back and tell you, watch Simpsons, it's not just dumb poop jokes, it's not just fart jokes, there's heart, there's actual soul to it, right? I would probably go and identify a ton of Lisa episodes, right? The angel, right? When they find the angel statue, I think that's a very strong Lisa episode, and kind of her fighting against just being skeptical, right? Kind of living out her role in the show, and it's done really well. And I think overall those episodes usually end up being fairly strong, right? You might be like, a Lisa episode, but I'm like, but there's so many good points coming up in parts, and there's a little bit of heart and soul, and I do like that she kind of just keeps that moral compass, and gives us some of the more touching moments in the series, right? I know, like the substitute teacher with, is it Dustin Hoffman when he plays the voice in that role? Is people say is one of their favorite episodes. It's super touching. It's great. Kind of pull a tear. It's emotional, and she kind of gives it the center, the heart of the show. And I think that's why I think she's as important, and I like her, is because she kind of adds a sense of reality, right? If you would just say, "Shut up, Meg, you suck, you fat bitch," you end up as Family Guy. If you say, "Hey, Lisa, you're a vegetarian and you're caring and you're a Buddhist and you have like beliefs and philosophy," then you get The Simpsons. And like, it might not be that simple, cut and dry, but I think when you treat your heart and soul character with respect, you end up with a bit more of a respectful show.
That's fair. I just really dislike her so much because she has a heart and soul when it's convenient for her.
Oh, true.
Like that in the Angel episode, she essentially goes through the whole time being just like dumping on everybody else's beliefs, and they're stupid for having such beliefs.
Yep.
And how could they even have such a beliefs? Like that's just if you're so dumb for having such a thing. And she's not sympathetic unless it's a cause she cares about. And in my opinion, she is like Hypocrite the character, and it drives me nuts that everybody just gives her a pass, because it's like, she's a good person. You're like, no, she's not. She's a nice person when it's convenient for her, and if it's a cause she cares about. Otherwise, she's the worst. Like, she's just, she rubs me the wrong way.
Okay, cool. Who do you have at number 10?
I got Maggie.
Nice.
I mean, you got the classic "Who Shot Mr. Burns?"
Yep, that's a good Maggie episode. Yep,
it is. I don't know, every so often she just kind of like pops up, and she just kind of like has some funny like one like she just like more of like a funny side character, but I just love her as a character. Like, Homer keeps forgetting about her.
Yep.
When Uncle Herb stays with them, and it's like, "What do you want, Maggie? I'll get you anything you want." And she's like, makes him gobbling noise, and it's like, "I want what the dog's having." And she just gets some really funny bits. When her and Mr. Burns, like, I think that they have like this hilarious like rivalry. Like, when I forget what episode it is, but when like Mr. Burns like and the baby who shot me, and she does like the little gun like at him. It's just like she's so smart, she's so clever, she's got some funny bits, and I don't know. I really like. I love her and Marta's relationship. I think that's like a cute, endearing thing. Like when Marge goes.
That's the heart you were talking about too. So both of our picks, I think, could be reflective of kind of some heart or soul of the series, right? And yeah, Lisa's definitely the more annoying of it, right? Whereas Maggie kind of has a little bit more plain, but really it kind of brings in that emotional tie, right? And tugs on the heartstrings a little bit. And some of the best loving, caring, kind, nice episodes of The Simpsons revolve around both Lisa and Maggie, actually. So
very true.
Yeah, nice. We're gonna jump up to number 9. Oh, and we got like the dynamic duo here going on. 2 characters that will be mentioned, but will be talked about later on the list. So if we carry on in the order, I'm going to tell you that number 9, I've got Alberto. Bart Simpson at number 9. Tyson, who do you have at number 9?
I got Milhouse.
Milhouse, all right. But we have to jump up because they appear higher on our list. So, okay, here we go. Leapfrog. Number 8. Who do you have at number 8?
I got Sideshow Bob.
He appears later on both of our lists, so... We'll talk
about him then.
Who do I have at number 8? I have Mo.
Okay. Nice. He appears later on in my list, so we'll talk about him in a little bit.
All right. At number 7, we both have... That's fascinating. We both have unique characters. So why don't we start out by talking about your number 7?
We got Krusty. The smoking, like, hilarious clown who is like an alcoholic and a terrible person. And it's kind of like a time capsule of like
vices. Like he just has every vice imaginable: gambling, smoking, drinking, you name it, addiction to pills, whatever vice you could kind of have.
He overeats on those like low fat shakes or whatever.
Yeah,
and he just gains a bunch
drinking milkshakes. They were low fat, right?
Yeah, it's I think he has a bunch of great kind of episodes. I love the little like whenever you see him like they're watching the Krusty show or whatever. It always seems like this massive show like that's like everywhere but doesn't exist outside of Springfield very well. So I love it. I mean, it introduces us it's a great setup for so many like Sideshow Mel, Sideshow Bob, Itchy and Scratchy. Even then with in Itchy and Scratchy, you get like I forget the Roger Myers Jr. And you just get like a bunch of fun things along with Krusty. When Krusty fakes his own death, I think that's a very like watchable and fun episode because like you get Bart just being devastated about his
hero, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I love Krusty. I think he's great.
Krusty was on my list at one point, closer to the bottom. He kind of got shuffled out as I got some higher up guys. But yeah, no, he was definitely in consideration, right? One of the OGs. He was early season 1, right? We see him. He kind of does evolve a little bit and kind of becomes like the paramour for the entertainment industry through The Simpsons, right? So anytime they want to poke fun of a movie or Hollywood of some sort, Krusty is usually the guy they call, right? Has lots of cameo appearances, right? When I think of Krusty episodes, I think like pretty sure Jay Leno shows up and talks to Krusty at times, right? The Krusty comeback classic, the KKK, it's full of good celebrity appearances there too, right? So lots of fun moments, lots of good. The origin of the character was actually he was going to be Homer. Hence why he has a very, 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 very similar appearance to Homer. And if Homer dressed up as Homie the Clown, he looks almost exactly like Krusty. Because at one point it was supposed to be Bart's hero was Krusty and he hated Homer, but Homer was his hero. So it was kind of they're doing a thing and they decided to change it at some point, right? But that was kind of like the origin stories of Krusty. And yeah, no, very entertaining. He has some slog moments. And sometimes I'm just like, how do you bet on the Generals, Krusty? Like, and I take you seriously.
Yeah, that's the joke. Is he's an idiot and he's the worst gambler.
You bet against the Globetrotters. All right.
Yeah. And the bet that the mob was going to knock him off was what, 32.50 or something like that. Yeah. It's like, and here's a 50. It's like, and 12's your change. Yeah. He was like, that the mob was going to knock him off for that.
That's pretty good. from speaking of kind of weird, I guess actually another kind of transition into the Hollywood, right? Some of the entertainment. So at number 7, from Krusty and Tyson's End, I have kind of a combo characters because you can't hear Phil Hartman's voice on The Simpsons and not think either Lionel Hutz or Troy McClure, right? The sleazy, that low-rate lawyer that The Simpsons always end up entangled with, or the Hollywood voiceover actor, right? Kind of the bigger-than-life star that kind of occasionally jumps in on Springfield. I wonder if you watched when Phil Hartman died and they stopped using Troy McClure, does Krusty actually become more of an allegory for the movie industry? Potentially?
Probably, because honestly, like when you watch those old seasons, and it always kind of breaks my heart. Like when you hear like his voice, you're just like,
yeah,
man, poor Phil Hartman. Like we miss him. And honestly, like the show, it was like a huge vacuum or like a whole huge bombshell just kind of dropped. Like because they would use him so often when those earlier seasons. Like it was almost like every episode or every other episode. They'd be like, oh, hey, here's a random character. Who do we need? Here's Phil Hartman. And you're just like, man, they use him so much. Like, he was such a, like a staple and like this, like, whenever they needed like just this amazing voice actor, they would just use him. And honestly, like when he passed away, it was like this like bombshell in the show. And you can feel like almost like this shift of like, pre and post like Phil Hartman in The Simpsons. Like he was an absolute, like he was a landmark in the series. He was so important to it. I think without him, it was they kind of lost their way for a little while, and I think it took them a long time to kind of get like back on track because they almost had to like rewrite how they would do like side jokes and things because they couldn't just rely on Phil Hartman just nailing everything. So
what? 90 Reality Bites? Huh. Lionel Hutz. And I guess that's when he passed away in 97? Does not appear after season 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bonkers. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, Troy McClure, I see him kind of dry up, but they must have revoiced Lionel Hutz because, like, of course he has to come back. You need they never had another sleazy lawyer character step in. Fascinating.
No, and like you don't get to hear like, hi, I'm Troy McClure. Like all those amazing jokes were just like, that's why, like, I know everybody like likes to like, oh, it was what Principal and the Pauper or whatever. Yeah. Like that's what changed the series. You know, like no, Phil Hartman dying changed the series. Like,
and the dynamic that they could use them for too, right? Because both those characters were so dynamic, right? You need to introduce something goofy. Troy McClure has got a video where he's introducing himself. You might remember me from such educational films as here's a series of jokes from Phil Hartman, right? And Lionel Hutz, just any of lawyer shenanigans from seasons like 3 to 9 are hilarious. They're awesome.
Yeah, it's like
Mr. Hutz, you rest your case. Oh, I thought that was just a figure of speech. Case closed.
Yeah, or the like when it's like, is there an Orange Julius on this floor? No, but I could tell you mine.
Yeah,
it's like
he'll be back. It's half drink.
It's like he's just like, he was such a good character, and I think everybody does such a disservice by not talking about like his passing in The Simpsons, like changing. It dramatically changed when like Phil Hartman left us. Like it's not about Principal and the Pauper. Like, shut up. Like, if you think that that's the reason why The Simpsons dropped off, then you don't know The Simpsons. Well, it changed because Phil Hartman gone. Like,
well, and like guys like they lost their, like, at one point, if you look at their writer's room, it was pretty elite, and then guys move on, right? Like Conan O'Brien went from just a guy who's writing to hosting it. Oh, that's going to change. Conan O'Brien's hilarious, right? I watch him and Norm Macdonald clips all the time. Like Norm Macdonald on Conan O'Brien is one of my favorite things on the internet.
That's fair. I think just Norm Macdonald's like my favorite thing. I sometimes just watch Dirty Work because I'm just like, let me watch some Norm Macdonald's being the best. Like him on Saturday Night Live is the best.
I recommend if you like Conan clips with Norm, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, some of the stories he tells are just so fucking stupid all the time. Every story he tells, you're like, I hate this story, and then he gets to the end and you're like, I love you. So, but that was my shout out to Phil Hartman, Lionel Hutz, Troy McClure, instant great side character. I don't think they ever had their own episodes. They didn't. Well, that's a lie. Fish Called Selma, right? Was kind of, I guess, the Troy McClure episode.
Yep, yep. And I
It
mean,
did give us Planet of the Apes the
does.
musical.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, hey, Dr. Seuss, do. Classic.
See that was a pre-recorded line that Tyson said there. It's great. It's awesome.
Yep. Yep. We have a whole soundboard of things we've said that reference The Simpsons.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. From there, though, we can move on to our number 6, and the two characters we've actually just mentioned, which were both of our 8s. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tyson, who do you have at 6?
I got Sideshow Bob.
No, you have Mo.
Oh, I'm looking at yours. Yeah, I got Mo.
Yep.
I had Sideshow Bob at 8. I just want to talk about Sideshow Bob. But we'll talk about Mo right now. Mo's fantastic.
Yeah.
The jokes. I love kind of all Mo's episodes. Like, he's just like this really insecure person where it's just like, I think the one episode where he's the substitute teacher and the kids are like kind of talking or like laughing. And he's like, is it about my ears? Like
My little ears.
my little ears.
Yeah.
Or like the prank phone calls to Mo. He hates Homer until he starts drinking again. Then he's like, oh, it's my best buddy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I love Mo. Mo's great. You got to have a sleazy bartender in this town. So I absolutely, I love it.
Well, and the staple of, I think, I mean, 80s, 90s culture of going to a bar after work, I think was very normative, right? So to have a character of Mo, who is this kind of tertiary bartender, right? He knows your name, you sit and you chat with him, you have your drink after work before you go home with your family. Kind of feel like it was a bit more common in the day. I don't know if people do that nowadays. I think drinking culture in general is just kind of slowing down, which is good. I don't think everyone needs to be drunk, and we were kind of over the top previous with like just rampant alcohol abuse throughout society. So the fact it's like coming down is a good thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like drunk driving and just like inappropriate behavior when you're out being drunk, right? Like be drunk, but don't be an asshole kind of thing, right? So the fact that is subsiding, but Mo is kind of that holdover from Cheers and 90s kind of bartender that you go to. His attempt of suicide at some point, I'm like always like, I don't know if like self-harm jokes always hit. So you kind of take those for a grain of salt. I'm always kind of like, it seems a little cringy now and maybe in poor taste. But other than that, I think his sleazy, underhanded, crooked bartender who's always running something illegal out of the back of his bar, instant great character. Hey, Midge. Midge always gets me too. So.
Oh yeah, and like there's the one episode where Bart's crush, and Bart prank phone calls him, and it's like, I live at 742 Evergreen Terrace. I think actually says a different date or a different address, whatever. And he's like, aha, you finally slipped up.
Yeah.
And he like goes running out of there and like, now Barney, don't you drink this beer. And they're like, he like runs around like a maniac. He's like, hold on one sec, got check map. Oh, okay, it's over here. Just like, he's so funny. Like, he's just a psychopath that's so crazy, but like he has a center. He has a center towards it. Or he's like the one episode where he gets a girlfriend and then he just like spends all his money on uses his player's card. And it's like, I don't know what a player's card is, but I love how it's just like this, probably like this crappy like credit card.
High interest. High limit, high interest credit card.
That everybody thinks that like, he's like, oh, okay, of course, sir. It's like, it's just great jokes. He's always funny. I think that like the series wouldn't be the same without him. So that's why he's my number 6.
Perfect. At number 6, I have Sideshow Bob, which is your number 8. Reason he made number 6 is I kind of feel like, in terms of reoccurring characters that have episodes that occasionally pop up that might be worth like just a rewatch of themselves, you have to give it to, I think, an amazing performance by... Oh, I don't know his name. It slipped me. Tyson will come up with it at some point, though. It's Sideshow Bob. Basically, these constant schemes and plots to defeat Bart Simpson, his arch nemesis, varying jokes from like a Frasier parody in one episode to he does Cape Fear to he sings random musicals. Sideshow Bob performance just comes in over the top. It's great. It's grand. It's probably better than The Simpsons deserves, to be honest with you. When Kelsey Grammer, I got it. It came to me. Kind of over the top. He's got the perfect voice for animation. Right, it's just one of those voices that stands out every time he's there. He's sophisticated, but he's a bumbling nincompoop. Right, great character, absolutely, just great. Love him anytime he shows up. Outside of maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but those are like later seasons where I'm like, oh, I just skipped that one.
Oh, the one with his family in Italy. You can just skip that. That's the one you're thinking about. When the baby runs around yelling "Vendetta." And you're like, great jokes, everybody.
Oh, so funny.
I love when they reuse jokes. There's a reason why we don't see Gil anywhere on my list. I hate that character and that disdain for that flippin' episode. But on a good note, Sideshow Bob. You need to have a good foil. He gets introduced in season 1 as like trying to frame Krusty. And then he keeps coming back, and every time he comes back, he has these like funny things. The Cape Fear episodes is a classic. The Dam episode is another classic. I love how like he's evil and maniacal, and like also like a complete. He's a super genius, but he's also a complete idiot. Like where he's like writing Bart all the letters in blood, and he just like passes out, and Snake's like, use a pen, Sideshow Bob. He's just like, but because he's so egotistical and evil, he's just such a great foil. Like he just fits in the world. He's so comically evil, but also a complete buffoon. So he's easily foiled.
He's like a super sophisticated supervillain who, again, could be foiled by a 10-year-old boy. You're like, I believe it, because he is just that kind of bumbling, right? So,
100%.
Cool. But that gets us into our top 5. So the best of the best now coming at you guys. Obviously, the top half of the list. At number 5, I have already appeared on our list. We'll get him out of the way. Number 5, I have Milhouse. Just another great parody of a character, kind of the sidekick, the bumbling, the nerd, the loser, the geek, the dweeb, the loser, and just his, I don't know, Milhouse, he just kind of brings this energy, this joy, this best friend energy to Bart throughout the series, and his self-deprivation, his low moments just fill me with so much goddamn joy, watching him write in Thrill House, watching his parents go through a divorce, watching him get beat up by the bullies and left at a rock concert, to finding his equal in Shelbyville, to it's just, again, one of those side characters that every time he comes in, he knocks it out of the park. Like, his batting average is up there of almost every time you see Milhouse, you're gonna have a chuckle, right?
Oh, and some of the greatest one-liners, like, my mom thinks I'm cool, or like, everything's coming up Milhouse.
Those two lines that just they've permeated, like, anyone can say it's all coming up Milhouse, and exactly. You're like, we are all Milhouses right now. It's delightful. It's great. The reason why he made one of my top 5 is just I just have a weakness. Anytime I see Milhouse, or you just hear from him, I'm like, great. It brings a little smile to my face.
Oh, and like the summer, like where they stay at the Flanders cabin. And Lisa gets a fresh start or whatever, and it's like, oh, you got the dud. Hey, looks like you in there, Poindexter. It's like, stand up for yourself, Poindexter. It's like he's just always the butt of jokes, but he's so funny. Or the episode where Bart, he gets all the answers to Bart to pass the test. And it's like, this test is worse than Milhouse.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a geek, not a nerd. Nerds are smart.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's an idiot. He's a little loser. But we were all that like little loser at some points in our lives. So like, he's super sympathetic. Like, you love him, and you just feel so like. I think they kind of wreck a bit of his character with like the future episodes with like him being obsessed with like Lisa, and you're like, I don't think he needs this.
Yeah.
Like I get that you just need to like, well, we need an established character that loves Lisa. It's like, make it Nelson, make it Ralph, make it anyone else, but it's always Milhouse. And you're like, I feel like Milhouse could do better. I feel like somebody's gonna realize that Milhouse is just this nice kid.
He's gonna grow up and work as a single man at a cracker factory, just like his father.
Just like his
And
dad. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well,
kind of his life,
or
right? So,
he could have been a great actor, but he gave it up because it's all so hollow.
it's
It's
true. Oh
like,
yeah, I guess he was like Fall Out Boy. So,
yep.
oh my
And he,
gosh, he was Fall Out Boy. A band is named after him. Wow.
yep, yep.
Huh.
He could have, it could have been the next big thing, but he chose not to because it's all like materialistic and worthless.
Yeah, and I do have a
Oh,
soft spot for Fall Out Boy. Like some of their songs, bangers. So, okay,
not a
okay, all
bad
right.
band.
Not terrible. I don't know any Fall Out Boy songs, so I said I was a big fan, and I don't know a single song, so I can't make a
Dance,
cool.
dance.
I was gonna say I was like, yeah, dance to your number five,
Sure.
Barney, right? You have
Barney.
Barney at five. Okay, cool.
Oh man, kind of falls off near a bit once he kind
Yep.
of gets sober, but it's good to see him actually like get sober because he was just like the joke was he's just this belligerent alcoholic who's just his life's a complete mess. So I'm glad that they kind of gave him a bit of a redemption arc. But there's a couple of the earlier seasons where he steals the show. And it was actually in Talking Simpsons when I was re-listening to it, and the one guy who kind of left the show, I forget his name, Chris Antista, I think his name was, and he would always make the point like, man, best episode or best like this a Barney episode has the best lines, and you're like, we're watching it, you're like, he does have the best lines. Like there's a couple of the earlier seasons where Barney just steals the show. He's so funny. He has the funniest lines. He does the most ridiculous stuff. And I just love him for it. Like he was such a strong character. I think like once he kind of gets sober, which is good for him, but all the jokes kind of fall away. He starts becoming like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself. And you're like, I remember when Barney got sober and he went into space and he became like this super awesome person and he was basically incredible at everything. And then when he apparently gets sober later in the series, he's just kind of like this like self-conscious guy that is really unsure with what to do with himself.
Well,
You know?
and it's like his fallacy is being involved in Homer Simpson's life, and Homer Simpson has been his like downfall and caused him to go into this spiral and end up in this like gutter essentially, right? But yeah, no, some of the better episodes, not better episodes, but some of the big standout episodes, like oh, I don't know what it's called, but they have the movies. I don't. Lots of these titles, like as you're saying, like oh this episode, I'm like I know the name. We could say the name and make this more legit. Just FYI, I don't remember what it's called. The film festival episode. Anyways, but with that film episode, the fact that he steals the scene from John Lovitz as a guest star and like Mr. Burns, who's all over that episode, and I'm like, oh, Barney's the all star of that show. That says a lot, right? The fact that he can step up and he can have these big moments against kind of bigger characters, right? Like he's up against Homer, who's probably high on both of our lists, right? We haven't heard Homer yet. I imagine he's probably pretty high up there. And the
Yeah.
fact that he kind of comes up and he can kind of swing with a heavyweight like Homer, right? And just kind of have those big moments. Yeah, it definitely deserves to be high up on a list. So,
A Star is Burns.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Number four. Who do you have at number four?
I got Marge, but
Marge appears higher on my list. Yeah.
true. Who do you got at number 4, Mick?
I have from my favorite episode, Homer's Enemy, season 8, episode 2. Is that right? Let's fact check this.
You continue. I'll do the fact checking.
Okay, all right, fact checking. Frank Grimes from Homer's Enemy, talked about as one of kind of like the turning points. He's this self-referential, kind of loser, depressed, normal person who enters the world of The Simpsons, and his superpower is he sees Homer as a cartoon character. He doesn't know that he's also a cartoon character. It slowly drives him insane. I think pound for pound, start to finish, it has some of the best moments. Bart owns a factory. We get to see Homer kind of confronting his insecurities about just being this kind of being called out for being a nincompoop, right? It kind of culminates in Frank revealing that Homer is a cartoon character and a parody and a farce to the whole city, and ultimately dies, and everyone chuckles and says, good old Homer. And we move on with our lives, and I just adore it. It's great. It goes down. I'm like, that's my favorite episode of The Simpsons. I'd go back and watch it all the time. It's great. And it can't be without the work of one Frank Grimes.
Season 8, episode 23.
Ah, idiot. I knew there was a 2 though, right? I knew there was a 2. So
Yep.
close.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, great episode, great character, great kind of like one-off episode. I couldn't fit him in here because it's just like, it's one episode. I love the episode, but it's like I wouldn't put it in my top 10.
See,
so I couldn't fit him in there. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. And like I'm seeing it, and it's my favorite episode, and I think he's funny and he's great. But I am gonna reminisce, and like both of us, I might scold us for not having Flanders on the list. And I'm just as I'm sitting here, I'm like, the fact that I have Frank, like it could also be a Flanders because Flanders is awesome. Like I love Flanders, he's so good. But we don't have him on our list, so I guess we just skip him. But I don't know if I.
Yeah,
like
I mean he could be your honorable mention. You never have honorable mention, so I mean you could put him on as
No. It's a top 10. If you anything under the top 10, you're dead to me. All you're doing is you're just showing me the first people that we're going to slaughter when the culling comes with your honorable mentions. That's all you're accomplishing.
Yeah, see, I would work my way in the bottom up. There's Gil's first on that list.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyways, so I never, ever have to watch that stupid episode ever again.
I'm going to go and watch it this afternoon. It can't be that bad. Frank Grimes, though,
terrible.
does belong on the list. I that episode, I think, just like pound for pound enjoyment that I get. That's why I put him up on my list as kind of like my own, weird, let's throw a random wrench in the gears. Once in a while, throw something. One item per list, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a weird one. But doesn't have the greatest staying power. It's okay. You can come in, kick ass. Frank Scorpio could also be there, too. You want a super villain? You want to see someone finally take down James Bond? Scorpio, he's the guy.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely, and that's one of my favorite episodes. Mm-hmm. It's like Scorpio, you're mad.
Cape Fear, Homer's enemy, and You Only Move Twice are like my 3 favorite episodes. So
they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. So
top 3 gets us characters we've already talked about. So as we're kind of coming through, we have 4 more characters, I guess, because you have that one extra. And then we're out of here. So number 3, who you got?
I got Mr. Burns.
But he
appears higher in your list. Who Homer also appears high. We've done this before. We have done the same thing before. So my number 3, Mr. Burns. Your number 3, Homer.
Sorry, I think I said that under while you were talking. So just in case there's an audio issue, my number 3 is Homer. He appears higher in the list. So we'll move to number 2.
I have Bart.
My number 9. So now we can talk about Bart. Cool, Bart.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's so low on your list.
Because, so it's funny, right? Going back and watching The Simpsons, actually, we'll talk about it when it comes to that time, I guess, at your number 1. But I always saw myself as Bart, right? I started watching the show probably when I was in grade 1, 2. That makes you 6, 7. So probably since 7, 8, I've been watching this. That means I've had Simpsons actively in my stream of consciousness for almost 30 years, right? I was Bart. Growing up, you are Bart. You want to be the rascal. He's got the funniest lines. He skateboards. He's kind of cool, right? Going back and watching it now, you realize that Bart is actually just kind of a loser. He has some interesting traits, and he's kind of a prankster, and he's kind of a little bit of a rebel, right? But ultimately ends up kind of being picked on, and he's the foil, and he's just kind of having a hard time, and he's just trying to be a kid in this kind of this comical world. And I could relate to him, right? He was me. I was Bart. And then slowly as I've got older, I've actually realized that somewhere along the line, I just became Homer, right? And Bart has kind of left, and he was me at some point. So the reason he's just down further on the list is he comes with a bunch of good episodes, but usually they're not Bart-centric. Like, what's the best Bart-centric episode that is just Bart, that doesn't include Sideshow Bob, that doesn't include Millhouse, that doesn't include, right, Principal Skinner? I think it's just because Bart has some of the best foils in this series, right? He goes up against Mr. Burns at times. I think I would like, oh yeah, Bart. I think he started higher up on my list, but then just as I kind of was like, what does Bart do? Like, what does he bring that's kind of different, unique, that like is only a Bart thing, right? Not a lot. So hence why he kind of just fell down my list, and I clumped the kids kind of at the bottom of the list, right? Whereas I clumped the parents at the top of the list. And maybe that's just kind of where I'm at now. And I'm kind of looking and I'm like, I'm closer to the parents' problems than the kids' problems, right? So that's why he ended up lower on my list. Why do you have him at number 2?
I think because when I think of The Simpsons, I think of him and my number 1.
Okay.
And then I start building around them. Like, sure, there's like the Marge and the Lisa and the Maggies of the world where you're just like, oh yeah, like they're there and they kind of like have some funny lines. But I feel like the driving force of this show is Bart and my number one.
Okay.
Then all the other side characters kind of fill out the world, whereas I feel like the rest of the side characters couldn't carry the show, and you can't really like write around them. Like if you made Krusty the show or Barney the show or Moe the show, it'd be like you'd probably get a good season, and then you would end up doing what SpongeBob's doing with like Patrick, where you're like,
Sure.
I don't know, let's keep writing episodes and print money, hopefully. Whereas like I feel with like Bart, he's kind of like this, like, you're right, like he has all these foils to him, but he has all these foils to him because he's a kind of a very like understandable character. Like he tries to be a bad boy, but he's kind of like a loser. Mm-hmm. He tries to be like this cool popular kid, but yet he's not really popular and everybody kind of makes fun of him. He is bullied and everything, but he's kind of like self-confident. But then there's the episodes where like you got to see he's not so confident, and really like his only friend is kind of like Milhouse, and that's kind of about it. Like he's kind of like an unlikable jerk, and I think that that's kind of represented in like even the future like episodes where it's like, and he's kind of, he owns it. He's like, wow, I could have been a drifter. Like he's just like proud of being this like loser, and I love it. And it's like he has zero ambition, but that's kind of like, it makes sense.
And I would agree that I think when Bart is not the focus, he comes with dynamite lines. Like he is a very, very strong second tier character, and lots of episodes he's just funny. Like he just does stuff, right? What was I watched? Homer becomes the inventor, and he has like the toilet recliner. And first thing, okay, get out of the way, I'm gonna poop. And he goes to jump on. Marge's like, no, you're not. What are you doing? Just excellent, awesome timing. However, some of his episodes, though, I'm like, similar to like Lisa in my mind. I'm like, the Bart-centric ones sometimes fall apart a little bit, right? Or they're, I think, only strong because like he sells his soul to Milhouse, and Milhouse is so hilarious it kind of works. Whereas the parts with Bart, I'm like, I'll just laugh when Milhouse shows up on screen, kind of thing. So hence why he's on my list. I get it. I understand he's the most important character, and he rides and he saves Springfield in the movie. When was the last time you watched the Simpsons movie? Does it hold up?
I watched it last year. Was it earlier this year? It's okay. The problem is, so I've read Under the Dome, and I've seen Under the Dome. Like, to me, it's just like, man, this sure is just like that one Stephen King novel that's not very good. Like, it's just like, it's a weak concept. I don't think that like, oh, the town's been placed under a dome is a great story.
Okay.
Like, and I think that's my issue with it, is just like, I just don't care. Like, sure, there's stakes where Homer, like, they're the most polluted place in America, so they're just gonna like nuke them off the planet because haha. And then they go to Alaska, and it's weak. It's not a solid, there's not a lot of great jokes. There's kind of like some like people who are like, oh, Spider Pig was so funny. It's like, how? Explain how this is funny to me. Like, go into detail about how Spider Pig is funny. Besides, it's like,
okay,
like,
well, and I mean, more of like, people go back and they're like, what should have been? Well, they already did the movie with Who Shot Mr. Burns, right? Like, ultimately, that's the movie. That should have been. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because that was your number 2. So we're on my number 2. Anything else on Bart? Yeah, he's one of the main characters. I get why he's on top of your list. I'm contrarian, so I push him down, right?
That's
you know me. I like the weirdos. That's what I'm like. Oh, this guy's kind of strange.
Well, I find it hilarious that like you have Milhouse way above Bart.
I think Milhouse pound for pound is funnier though, right? Because like it's just you see Milhouse, he steps in, he says something funny, and he steps out, and I'm like, hilarious. That's great. Bart, when he steps in and says something, great. It's the Bart centric episodes, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I just think it's funny that he's so much lower.
Well, it's like things like the Christmas episode where he steals Bone Storm. I get it. Okay. Try to mature and deal with that. And like you run away at Thanksgiving. And like those episodes just, that's anyways, just kind of is down on my list. Number 2, are we on my number 2? Yeah.
We are.
Just one's left. All right. So I have your number 4. It is the mom, the matriarch, Marge. Pound for pound, she is one of the funniest side characters, in my opinion. When it's not an episode and she just has a line, it's probably the funniest line. And if you don't laugh, it's because you're not paying attention to what she just said, because she's so subtle. Her just little neurotic behaviors of being the ultimate housekeeper, right? She kind of is the ultimate version of like the domestic, or what the 90s view of like the mom, the housekeeper, the stay-at-home mom, the super mom. That is just Marge, right? She cleans the house, she maintains, she keeps the chaos in the family. She spends 25 hours a day in the house. You can't hide from her. Delightful, great. And some of her episodes, when she steps up, I like them. Going back and rewatching a lot of Marge episodes, they're awesome. When she's a realtor, when she owns a pretzel business, whenever she has some type of side project, right? Whether she's painting, whether she's just getting into mischief around town, trying to join country clubs. Those episodes are just inherently full of heart and soul, and they're funny and they're relatable, and she just brings it time and time again. And Julie Katner does an amazing job. That's her voice, right?
Yep. You're checking it right now. No, it is. I'll tell you this right now. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay. All right.
It is. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine.
All right.
No reason to second guess it.
Okay. All right. Good. Perfect. Yeah. So that's why I have her at number 2 on my list, just because I do like going back. I'm like, she's knocks it out of the park. She's great. She's awesome. She, at least in like golden years, 3 through 9, she's a very infallible character. I don't know if she has like a bad moment.
That's fair. I mean, to be honest, I had her actually lower on my list.
Okay.
But I kind of pushed her up because I feel like she's earned this. I think that she's kind of more like supposed to be the everyman, where, yeah, like, I mean, she's earned my respect. I'm not going to go to my way to be like, wow, a Marge episode. I'm usually like, I'll just watch it. Like, I don't feel like she carries a lot of episodes. Like the one where she goes crazy or has a mental breakdown. Like that's funny, but it's kind of just like more played like straightly. Okay. And I feel like she's always supposed to be the straight guy, like now Homer. But I like, without that straight guy, you like the straight person, you kind of like the wackiness of Captain Wacky doesn't work.
Sure.
So you need her there to balance everything out. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Marge. I think she's awesome. I'm not going to say she's hilarious. I think that she is a strong character, and you need a strong character with a good like moral center. Like she in my opinion is the moral center of the Simpsons family. Okay. And she's the one who's constantly, even to like the quote unquote like heart and soul Lisa that everybody always likes to call her. It's like, I feel like Marge is the heart. Marge is the soul. Sure. Marge is the compassion, and that's why like she's super important.
So I'm going to echo that. I mean, I think Marge is very funny. Sometimes some of the things she says, I'm like, God damn it, Marge, that's great. Like, I've gone back and like watching some episodes, like pause, and I'm like, oh, that's really funny, Marge. Okay, I really appreciate that. I think they're neat. From a character point of view, she is a strong female character that is a part lead of the show, and I will emphasize that she is a character. She has wants, desires, hopes, dreams. Guess what? She even gets horny at times, and she's like, hey, I want to fuck, right? What other female character on TV is like allowed to do that, right? Maybe the girls from Friends, right? Maybe Courtney Cox, maybe Jennifer Aniston. But other than that, like find some other strong female, Elaine, right? I guess in comedies, but like Marge, she's right up there in terms of like, oh, you have a character and like you're allowed to have personality and you're not just the side piece and you don't just sit off to the side and wait for a man to talk to you, right? So I do appreciate that, and I just wanted to kind of give her acknowledgement that going back, I'm just like, I really like and appreciate what they've done with that character, right? And I will say that some of her solo episodes can be a drag, right? But
yeah,
but I think yeah, pound for pound, I think just
yeah.
what they brought to her and what she kind of gets to do, and the fact that she gets some autonomy in the show is really cool. And she's not just the mom. She's not just the naggy mom like Lois from Malcolm in the Middle or something, right? The stereotypical mom from the sitcom that's like, don't do that, don't do that. They gave her a lot more than that.
Yeah,
although at one point I'm pretty sure she does say that a bunch, potentially dressed up as a squirrel. So
yeah, I believe that's a parody, but it's there's also like, I think it's the one gambling episode where it's like, okay, they're all in the town hall and everybody's like, oh yeah, let's do this. So does anyone have any objections? I'm like, oh, okay, Marge. Yeah. It's like, I'm actually okay with it. Hooray!
Yeah.
It's like, I love that stuff, but like, cause that's her like character, and you need a grounded person in this reality, or it all falls apart. And I think without her, you don't have a functioning Simpsons. The show doesn't make it to like bloody 35 odd seasons. Yeah. So
37 or 6 or something like that. We're getting close to 40. Okay, that's it.
I think we're going into 36.
90. Oh yeah, I guess it started in 89. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's see. We have one left. We both benched it, so it's both of our number 3. So if you were paying, oh shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Well, that wrecked it. Anyways, you can figure it out.
We hinted at it.
Well, let's run through our lists. We'll get ready for number 1, and then see if you guys can figure out what they are. Don't pay attention to number 3 though. So at number 10, I got Lisa, followed by Bart at 9, Mo at 8, Lionel Hutz / Troy McClure as a big shout out to Phil Hartman at 7. We got number 6, Sideshow Bob, 5, Millhouse, 4, Frank Grimes. I've got Homer at 3. Number 2 is Marge, and that only leaves my number 1. And Tyson, let's run through your honorable mentions and give us a recap from that 10 to 2.
Sure thing. So 13, I got Ralph. 12, I got Groundskeeper Willie. 11, Principal Skinner. 10, Maggie. 9, Millhouse. 8, Sideshow Bob. 7, Krusty. 6, Mo. 5, Barney. 4, Marge. 3, Mr. Burns. 2, Bart. And ready for my number 1?
Of course. Hit it.
It's Homer. Of course it's Homer.
Main character, star of the show. Of course it has to be Dan Castellaneta's performance of Mr. Wacky, Homer Simpson.
Captain Wacky. Yeah, absolutely. He is a jerk. He is compassionate. He's an idiot. Yep. He's like kind of a genius sometimes. He is whatever they need him to be, and it works. He is so funny. He is like the epitome of America. I hate to say this because it's kind of like the idea of just like, you have a nice house, sit on the couch, drink some beer, watch some football, go to church. Like, that is a huge chunk of what he does. But it's also like, he's also so much more than that. He is a loving father when he wants to be. He is a loving husband when he wants to be. He is a compassionate member of the community when he wants to be. He is so like, he's like the perfect cartoon character where he can just fill any role. He can be a foil. He can be the hero. He can kind of just be the joke guy. He has some amazing moments, and a lot of my favorite moments of The Simpsons come from Homer. So he had to be my number 1. It felt wrong. I was debating actually putting Bart as my number 1. Okay. But I felt like, you know, as we get older, I do just recognize more with Homer, and I find myself comparing myself more and more with like, how old is he? Okay. How much does he weigh? Oh, okay. And it's
Yep.
just like those things where you're like, you just kind of, you think about it, you know? You're like, am I Homer? Am I turning into Homer? Like, what's happening? I still have a full head of hair, thank God. But it's those little things in life where you just kind of, I think The Simpsons isn't The Simpsons without him.
Oh,
I
Homer.
love
Oh,
him.
I agree. He's iconic. He is a culturally ascending figure on television, right? He is up there with any of the best sitcom characters of all time, right? He is, yeah. As you grow older, if you grew up with the show or jump into it now, he will be a paragon. He will be a character you identify. He is funny. Most of his episodes hit. He does have some duds along the way, right? And that's the problem when being the main character is not all of it is gold, right? Lots of it is very good, but it's not like that golden kind of moment that you're looking for. He is, yeah, tons of great episodes across the way. He is lower on my list. Only because I honestly just in my rewatch the last couple is Marge. Marge just stood up. The reason he's 3 on my list and I pushed him down a little bit is just I did Marge hit a lot harder. I thought her hit rate in terms of jokes and just her when you get a Marge episode, it seemed a bit more of a breath of fresh air, right? Whereas Homer, he has a great episode where he's Mr. Plow, where he moves to and works for Hank Scorpio, or he has all these kind of this great assembly. He gets harassed by Frank Grimes and he's broken down. He has to hang out with Barney, hangs out with Moe. He's such just an direct to other characters that oftentimes I find that he's like it's entertaining, but not because of Homer. Homer's just kind of that. I think that's probably why I pushed him down specifically, right? When it is a Homer episode, oftentimes it's highlighted by greater characters, greater performances, with the X-Files parody, whatever that one's called. Right? Is he the best? It's a hilarious episode. It's great. Is he the best part of that episode? I don't know. Who he is. He's
That's
just
fair.
kind of there and he kind of gets you there and he's that avatar and he kind of is that vessel, right? So I think because he does have a little bit more down moments and sometimes he bugs me. Sometimes like when you're too dumb, it's like the Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. At a certain point I'm just like I hate him so much. He's the worst character ever. Just not be stupid, right? And sometimes Homer gets that where I'm just like, oh, you're too dumb. You're too stupid. You shouldn't live, right? Hence why he came down a little bit, but he is the show. He is the reason that they are 36 seasons strong. He's going to go down as one of the greatest animated cartoons ever, right? He'll be up there with Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny and Homer, and we'll be able to say, and SpongeBob, right? There's your Mount Rushmore of comic or of cartoon characters.
Who's these characters you talk about? I only know about Ronald Ruck and Ricky Rose.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's original ideas. I see. You're one of those original guys. But no, in fact, we probably should have flipped how we talked about these. He should be the last thing we talk about on The Simpsons episode. He is the best character. He is the top. He is the peak. He is the driving force. He is Homer Simpson. Homer J. Mother effin' Simpson. But we didn't do it that way. We talked about my number one, who's Mr. Burns last. So,
Well,
oh well.
I also argue that this character is the most important character in The Simpsons. Like, Homer and Bart, they're the reason why the show works and the reason why you can kind of like keep churning out these episodes. But without this character, the episode or the show is so like flat because as soon as he's in an episode, you're like, yes, the best. Like, so Mick, who's your number one?
Number one, I have Mr. Burns, Montgomery Burns, if you ask the right people. In terms of just who is the star, who is the biggest advocate, who has the pound for pound funniest moments, most quotable. That's probably what, like in terms of quotability, Mr. Burns, everything he says might be a quote that you can say, that you'd want to say, that you want to go back and reflect and you chuckle at. Top to finish, regardless of the situation, whether he's the evil boss or the rich overlord of the town, or poor and down on his luck and just trying to make some slurry with Lisa. He is, if he's in an episode, you're in a good time. Sometimes I would just go through and just watch Burns episodes. I was gonna watch like the 20 Burns episodes, and you get out and you're like, is Simpsons awesome? Like, it's great, it's hilarious, right? Time after time after time delivers just banger after banger after banger. I can't even give you like what's the best Mr. Burns episode. Does he have one?
It's Who Shot Mr. Burns.
Mr.
It's the best episodes. Like, if you combine them all into one, it's the best episode. It's so good. To me, that one's I think in my top like top 3, if not number 1.
And are you gonna
It
argue that Who Shot Mr. Burns is like the pinnacle of the Simpsons? It's like the apex. It's their like best ever, and because it revolves directly around Mr. Burns, he then becomes technically the most important character.
I'm not gonna say that, but
Okay.
I will say
Okay.
that this episode was them firing on all cylinders. I'm sure there's maybe like some pound for pound better episodes. I loved, like, I still remember vividly, like, call AT&T Collect and tell us
Yeah.
who you
Oh yeah.
thought like did this, and you can win a Simpson house. And it's like, this is just like such a like landmark moment in my life, and I just remember it vividly. And we had to wait all year, like all summer. Felt like forever and a day, because it was just like, who did shoot him? Who did shoot him? I was it Krusty? Was it like Mr. Smithers? Like, we didn't even mention him. It's like, Mr. Burns is such a awesome character. Like, I'm gonna blot out the sun because you guys are using this for free energy. Like, he's such a greedy monster. Like, it's so good. That episode to me just like stands out. It was just done differently. And I don't know any other, like, because they've done some other two-parters, I think, but this was the best one. This one, this one, I think, just like, this should have been the movie. This had so much intrigue and fascination to it, and even like the stuff where, like, yeah, he just wakes up Homer Simpson. Like, all he can say is Homer Simpson, and then like Homer's like shaking him. It's like, Smithers, who is this idiot?
Yeah, I mean, like, the problem right now is I'm at the point with Mr. Burns where I just kind of want to sit and just tell you all of his quotes, right? I just want to sit here and be like, I was like, well, actually, Mountain of Madness, you know. He's like, they're not snowmen, Homer. They're real men, made of snow. Like, it's great. It's awesome. It's hilarious. He hits it time and time again, right? Always good for a chuckle, good for a laugh, and he's my favorite character. Mr. Burns, he's great. If he's on screen, I'm probably gonna be chuckling because I think his early Harry Shearer's performances of Mr. Burns are top notch. Later seasons, I think he kind of got disgruntled with Groening or the writers and started dialing it in. So like later, Mr. Burns just doesn't have the same energy. But watching Mr. Burns want to shoot Bart and Lisa and a bunch of puppies with a little revolver because they don't look like Rory Calhoun. It's delightful.
Who's that man who's always standing? Smithers? Rory Calhoun? That's the fellow. Like,
yeah.
what? Yes, his old timey ahoy hoy.
Ahoy hoy.
Yeah, like he's awesome.
Yeah.
Or like when he's like always doing old timey things when he shows up in like the old thing, put 16 ounces of unleaded something or other, and like Marge is standing at the gas pump being like, what are you talking about? And revulcanize the tires. Like, he's just so funny. You get that old timey stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's another one of those like landmark moments, like when we lost Phil Hartman, when Harry Shearer kind of just started phoning it in and literally wanted to just start phoning it in. He didn't want to come into the studio. He was like, "Can I just do it over the phone? I don't even want to go there." It changed the dynamic of the show. Like, again, it was just this another moment where you're just like, God, like, these moments make me want this show to just stop so we can kind of get a fresh restart. Because we're starting to like lose some of the magic. Like, we lost Phil Hartman, we lost like what Harry Shearer given a fuck. We lost.
I think at this point, like, we could just say it's probably until the main cast starts dropping. But I mean, even with the advent of like AI and technology, does The Simpsons just permeate forever?
You'll never stop The Simpsons,
right? Like, they sign a contract with Dan Castellaneta. Look, we have enough. We're going to pump all of Homer into an AI thing, and you're just going to get your family's going to collect royalties for forever. Essentially, we're just going to write you guys a check every year. We'll use your voice. You sit at home. It's good gig. And like, ultimately, I don't know where they're going to go with The Simpsons, but it is kind of one or two. But yeah, the sheer joy and just passion from the early these voice actors in the early seasons that is lost now, right? Going in after season 12, so you got that 18 years almost ish, maybe plus 20 some years have just been like, It's not great. It comes back at some point, sure, but like there's a big chunk there where I'm just like, I don't know what you do about those. Just maybe don't watch them. I've never watched them. I can't be bothered. In the 20s at some point, I'm like, no, I'm good. No, no, thanks. But
Yeah.
early on, just the enjoyment that these characters brought obviously kind of gives us a lot to talk about, and we kind of got to put a list together and quintessentially, what, like Homer, Bart, Mr. Burns, Marge, Moe, Sideshow Bob, Millhouse. Got five similars. That's pretty good.
Yep. Yep. I think quite a bit of crossover. Like, I mean, everybody's list of favorite Simpsons characters is going to be different. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some people who are like, but I love Ralph. Why isn't Ralph number one? You know what? It's your list. You post us. Let us know what your list would be. I always love reading other people's like interests and stuff.
Sure.
But these are just kind of like what we were thinking that day. I'm sure you asked us in a couple months what make a top 10 list, and you don't show us our old list. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
I love The Simpsons. Grew up with it. We watched it religiously, like whenever it was on. When we had cable TV, the
multiple times a day. Before
streaming, we would just watch whatever episode it was.
Time shift satellite back in the day. If you're like, what is that? Time shift was every time zone at 5:00 would play The Simpsons. So you could start at 3 in the afternoon and watch the New York time zone. Oh, and then the central feed, and then the mountain time, and now we're in the Pacific time. So you can watch the exact same block of television across the time shift. And I would do that. I would watch 2 Simpsons episodes, then 2 more, and then 2 more, and then my mom would come in and she's like, okay, do something else with your life. You've now watched this episode 3 times tonight. You're a loser. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a good point. I should do something with my life. Thanks, Mom. But it would just be continuous. It is one of those things. Religious part of the routine of our existence was kind of getting the Simpsons in us. And I thought, if this Podtendo show is just kind of a weird, we look back at video games and we do something, but it is kind of an oral history of our lives and of a lot of our experiences, then we definitely have to be including the Simpsons, right? As just kind of one of the quintessentials. So maybe we come back to something like this in the future and we can look at like individual episodes or something. I don't know what the future of this podcast looks like, but as for today, I thought it'd be fun to kind of do this. Look, we talked over an hour.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, without The Simpsons, we probably don't develop the sense of humor that we do. Hopefully, you guys who are listening, or everybody who's listening at home, kind of take that away from these recordings, where it's just like, and hopefully you kind of get the same kind of jokey humor. Because I swear, like The Simpsons, in a way, helped raise me. Helped develop me as a human being, helped me, like, I know everybody had those friends who are like, oh, my parents never let me watch The Simpsons. It was a bad show. And you're like, there's nothing bad in this show. Your parents are crazy. Like, they obviously like didn't watch it or whatever, or for whatever like religious reasons. Like, we all had those friends that just like, nah, I can't watch this show. It's a bad show. It's like,
Bart is rude and talks back to his parents.
Yeah, or they insult Christianity, and it's like, no, they make you question Christianity.
Yes,
they're still like Catholics or whatever in the show. It's like there's nothing wrong with that. That's your beliefs. And
any belief system, whether they are religious, political, philosophical, that can't be challenged, and you don't allow any challenging of that belief system, I think that's considered a cult. So just remember that, everyone, when we're up in arms because we're like, someone made fun of that thing. Like, we should make fun of these things. That's healthy. We should be able to look and be like, take a critical eye to everything, regardless of what it is. Even science, you should be able to be like, is that really how that works? Interesting.
That is a fundamental of science, is you need to question it and recheck it and keep rechecking it.
And even if it's not perfect, you could still like it. It doesn't mean if it's not perfect, it's bad. But just again, think about that, people.
Yeah. And I mean, I think
we had words of wisdom at the end of the podcast. You didn't think that was coming on. And you're like, Simpsons, talking, laughing, and now we're dropping truth bombs on you?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's what The Simpsons did for us. Like, it was that show that helped question things. You're like, when I was a kid, we just went to church because that's what we did when Grandma and Grandpa were around or whatever. And then as I kind of got older, it's like, why are we doing this? I don't believe this book. I don't believe any of these things. Like, why am I doing these things? You're like, because your grandma and grandpa appreciate it. And you're like, okay, I will do it for them.
Yeah.
but I'm not doing it for me. And it made you question things. It made you question, like, is this a good friend? Like, they don't treat me nice. Like, it made you think about, like, even like falling in love and stuff. Like, there was all these different like pieces of life, and they're always trying to give us some wisdom. So for me, I always, like I said, I still find it crazy that people are like, I don't let my kids watch The Simpsons. And you're like, there's nothing bad in this show. You should watch it and you should discuss it and how it makes you feel afterwards, because that's where true like growth comes from, is self-reflection on what you've learned. So
and if you can't talk Simpsons, you can't have conversations with most of your coworkers and other people in society. So it's actually an important skill. It's much like typing.
In fact, I believe it's in most, if you have never been in a job interview, these are one of the things that they do, is they'll ask you, what are your top 10 Simpsons characters and why? So we're just giving you good ammunition for any job interviews you ever need to take. So just make lots of Simpsons quotes, and the more you can drop in the fastest frequency, the more likelihood you're going to get that job.
I always do that. Every time I hand in the resume in the interview, I'm like, so this resume is like, has the truth on it. But, there's the truth and there's the truth. So you decide which one this is.
Yes.
All right. And finally, words of wisdom before we depart. Well, we tried our best and we failed anyways. So I think the lesson here is never try.
Yep. And truer words were never said.
Truer words were... That's like actually a motto at my job, so... Tried our best and we failed. So the reason the lesson is never try.
Never try.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Also, excellent.
Excellent. Okay, from there, though, I think we're done. Probably. Cool. Actually, I think with our last show, if we talked for like 20 minutes, we'd be out of minutes for the month. So that hasn't happened for a while.
Oh, good for us.
Good for us. Yeah, fun. Awesome. Good times, good summers. We're back in 2 weeks, if you guys are following along, with a Zelda game. So that's pretty exciting. One of the random August summer drops of Zelda. Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine it's probably a good one.
Haven't done a Zelda game in a while, so we were itching. So
yeah.
Screw it, we're doing a Zelda game.
So that's pretty fun. So pause, Zelda, and then I think we're back with another list of some sort in a month's time. So with that, we will say goodbye for now, and see you guys when we're playing Zelda. So cool. Fun stuff.
Cool. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.